Anytime there's a large gap between episodes of Satanic Views, people ask me if I have disappeared off the face of the earth. But just because there's a gap between episodes of this show doesn't mean that I've just totally disappeared. Actually, I've been working on a whole different series called OC the Webcast, based on the magazine Oriental Cinema. It's much different than Satanic Views. It's a whole different subject matter, but if you're curious, you can probably see it at my Google site. Go into Google, type in Damon A. Foster, and you'll see OC the Webcast. Getting back to this here Satanic Views, starting with this episode, I'm addressing a lot of questions that people have sent to me about who I am, why I do this, my lifestyle, and I'm just going to explain it all through a series of interviews called Growing Up Demonic. I'll be the arrogant snob that I am and talk about myself in a series of interviews: the 1960s, the 1970s, the 1980s, the 1990s, and the 21st century. This episode will have the 1960s. But for now, let's respond to another viewer comment.
Benny704 said, "Is this channel real or just mocking Satanism?"
Honey, for $5, I'm whoever you want me to be. No, but seriously, this channel is all things to all people. Yes, it is a real channel. It is really on YouTube. It really exists on the internet. Just check it out anytime, which you obviously are doing. And yes, I am also mocking Satanism and Christianity and atheism and what else is there? I'm mocking everything.
Aside from like all the things about what's going on, I've noticed that you have been setting up a road trip, or basically kind of a thing for a gathering to go to different places. I've heard one over at the Superstition Mountains. Do you have any other places in mind that you think of probably getting the groups to go ahead and go out, do things that would be, you know, based on the meetup group or anything?
Yes, we do have a trip planned out to the Superstition Mountains, which have a long and dark history, so it should be an interesting trip. We also have another location that we may go to probably next year. It's out in the desert, and it would be a great place. It's much more secluded and private, even though it's out in the open. So it would be a chance for us to really let loose and make a lot of noise and really have a good wild ritual out there. And just, you know, a chance to hang out. And also, you know, there's so much, you know, we live in the city. I've always lived in the city. I used to go camping when I was younger. It's a chance for us to get out there and actually be out in nature, so to speak. And, you know, to be surrounded by the natural world, beautiful and ugly alike. There's a certain power to that, a certain spiritual energy to that you can't really fully capture when you're in, you know, even in someone's yard. It's more powerful when you're out there, and we hope to capture that. And of course, some of these locations, like the Superstitions, also have a well-deserved reputation for having had things happen in the past, having a certain energy, so to speak, to them that makes them an excellent place for us to gather and to draw up that energy and to experiment a little and work with the spirit, so to speak.
Okay.
As I look at your journalism, I see you were born in the 1960s in a liberal environment, full of hippies and beatniks. It seems you were exposed to three elements that influenced your interest in the dark end of things: animals, superheroes, and the devil's music, rock and roll.
Yes. First, animals. As a suburban baby playing in my backyard in Sacramento, I somehow learned to love scary things like black widows and other bugs. The fact that squeamish wimps were afraid of them made me sympathize with these tiny critters, and I felt these misunderstood creatures got a bum rap. This love of exotic animals never left me. Second, superheroes. There's something very mysterious about vigilantes in black masks. Clayton Moore was a hero of mine because of the Lone Ranger, who in turn was my first Halloween costume, and Kato made me into a longtime Bruce Lee fan. And I even had a Batman birthday cake when I was a preschooler still living in suburban Sacramento, California. Third, the musical aspect. I mean, Wild Thing by the Trogs was my favorite song when I was in my crib. The song is edgy garage rock, the hardcore punk rock of its time. I also developed a fondness for Dick Dale and the Monkees. All this set me up for just about any kind of rock and roll that involved electric guitars for generations to come.
So, although you don't remember the 1960s very well, the seeds were sown. And these three elements would appear to be a hint of things to come.
This message is from the bloke?
Yeah, he's obviously British. In America, he might have been called the man's man or the dude's dude or the guy's guy or something. Go ahead.
Among other things, he says, "I find that other parts of your videos, such as Lucifer's Lemonade in this episode and Iguana vs. Dog, are kind of useless."
Oh yeah? Well, maybe I better redeem myself. You don't like Lucifer's Lemonade? Well, how about Belial's Lionade? Boy, you know, this limeade is just solid limes. I think I want to water it down a little. I think I'm going to water it down with some solid lime juice. Here we go. This'll take the edge off it. Oh, right in my eye, but damn, it's going to be... Oh, fuck. You got a spoon, go ahead and have some of that yummy lime slushy. Chunks the size of ping pong balls. You like that?
Chewy?
I can smell it from here. Oh, maybe it's not.
You really taste the rind.
Lovely.
I hope it's really good rind. All right, let's go.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Fuck, this is horrible.
That's nasty.
I ain't eating this shit.
All right, have some. Have some nice, solid lime slushy. Yum.
Oh my god.
Pretty good. Is it better than Lucifer's lemonade?
It's so much worse than lemonade.
Really?
It's the rind.
This stuff's pretty thick. I better use a spoon. Oh, I love it. This is good.
Sure you do.
That's good. Oh, I want some more right now. I'm so glad I have this. That's great. Oh, it's all in my nose. Oh, so much more.
This is painful.
No, it's great.
No, it's painful to watch.
Thank you so much for
Thank
taking my